like to buy the bag, or maybe you'd hold off on buying the bag. So here it is, right here on my lap. There's the nice caviar, is what it's called, caviar leather. It's a nice, nice calf leather with sort of, if you can see, a texture to it, as opposed to their other leather that they usually use, which is a lambskin, which will run you more money. The caviar leather seems to run at a less expensive price. So what I love about this bag, it is a classic bag that I will have, I can give to my child one day. You know, our grandmothers carried this bag. I mean, it had a little different look to it. The C's now, if you can see, the C's are in the bag. The bag that my mother and my grandmother would have carried had the raised C's. It was almost like sitting on top of the bag. So they've changed it up a little bit, but for the most part, it has stayed the same year over year over year, which is why you kind of want to spend the money to buy this bag, because it's never going to go out of style. I love the gold chain. If you can see here, it has the beautiful gold hardware. It also comes in silver hardware. So you sort of have to make sure that you're not knocking it around too much, because these little screws, they'll come out. So I went back to the Chanel store and they were awesome, and they, gave me new screws and they put my bag back together for free. But if you were to lose one, I think that you'd get charged. So I noticed that mine was loose, and I was able to pop it out of here. But if all of a sudden it just fell off, you might be out of this, and I don't know how much Chanel would charge you. So you want to make sure that these screws are tightened. I actually have a little screwdriver, and I know it seems so silly, but before I use it, I'll make sure I tighten it, and then maybe 2 months will go by and I'll tighten it again. Just something to make sure that your bag isn't falling apart. So I did say it came in silver, and I'm just going to show you some great features of the bag. So it's very roomy. Let's go on inside. So in here we have several different compartments. There is a zip back pocket. It's very roomy. You have all your authenticity cards in there. And here's another back pocket. It fits my wallet. It would fit a lot more than my wallet, but I try not to over bulk my bags. I'll talk about that later. Then there's a middle pocket. I got makeup in there, some eye drops, a little Chanel lipstick. And there's, it's really cute on the zipper. It says Chanel. I don't know if you can see that. And then on the other side, it just has the classic CCs, which is really cool. Then they have this front pocket. I keep my checkbook in there. And then another pocket in the front. So it's very organized. It's very easy to put your stuff in and know exactly where it is. A lot of bags, you go in, it's just a great big hole. You're like, oh my gosh, where are my keys? And you're searching around. This, you're like, boom, it's in the front pocket. So I do love that about Chanel bags. They tend to be very organized. My other favorite part, actually my all-time favorite part about this bag, is the classic back pocket. So I sometimes carry my bag, and a lot of girls carry their bag with this as the front, and it's a good size. You could put your keys in there, you could put your cell phone in there, all that good stuff. So let me talk about a few things I do not like about the bag. First, it is very slouchy because it is all leather, and it's not, so a lot of your bags that are very structured have cardboard in them, and the cardboard makes them stand up perfectly, and they're not going to bend over time. A lot of Louis Vuittons that are very structured, like the patent leather Almas and the Bellevue and a bunch of other classic bags that Louis Vuitton has made over time, I've had them for 10 plus years and they have not changed shape. Chanel's, the flaps do not change shape. For the most part, my flaps have stayed the same shape and have not slouched over time, but this one's not that old. Actually, I had one and it was slouching so bad that I returned it to the Chanel store and they replaced it and gave me a new one. But it's gonna, I don't want to do it, but it's gonna buckle. You might want to look up online pictures of Chanel bags that have been used over time, because what's going to happen is you're going to sort of get a crease down here and it's going to buckle up. I mean, it's just from using your leather bag, it becomes more of a floppy bag. And a lot of people like that. A lot of people don't like how structured it is. They like that it's gonna like poof out on the sides a little bit and it's going to buckle. So if that is something that you are not looking for, do not buy this bag, because within 6 months of using it, it will start to look worn and start to look lived in, with the bulkiness of the sides popping out and this area bunching up. So another con of the bag is at the bottom, you can see it does not have feet. And for the most part, Chanel bags don't have feet. They always say if you're going to buy a Chanel bag, you should be able to either keep it on the chair next to you at a restaurant or hang it on the back. If you're going out, this Chanel bag should never touch the floor. Why would you spend $3,000 on a bag just to throw it on a dirty floor? You know, so if you're going to buy this bag, make sure you realize the bottom will get dirty, and you should always have it hanging or sitting next to you, because it will get scuffed. Most Chanel bags, like the flap, also doesn't have feet. I can't remember if the Surf Tote does. When I do a review of the Surf Tote, we'll talk about that, but I don't think that one also has feet. So that's something you just need to be careful of. It is a delicate bag, even though it's an everyday bag, and I use it every day and other people use it every day. It is a bag that over time, it's going to get roughed up. It's not going to be as sturdy as your Louis Vuittons that you can knock around and they look the same for years and years and years. This bag needs a little bit more TLC, but again, it's a classic, and if you're looking for a Chanel, a first Chanel bag, this would probably be your first bag that you should buy. It is at the low end of Chanel bags. Most Chanel bags now run between, the Surf Tote just went up to $3,300, and if you want like the classic flap, the smaller one, we're at $2,500, and then if you want the big jumbo flap, we're around $5,200. So by buying this one, you get your foot in the door with a beautiful Chanel that, you know, it will take you from, you know, year to year to year, and it'll never go out of style, whether you like the gold or the silver hardware. And it's at a reasonable price. So I recommend the Chanel Grande Shopping Tote for your first Chanel bag. And I think it's small enough that you could take it out to dinner if you'd like. Or you can use it during the day to mail some letters or go to the grocery store. Or throw your kids, you know, little diaper stuff in there and, you know, some toys, and go to, you know, Mommy and Me dance class. So I hope you enjoyed my review of the Chanel Grande Shopper, and I hope I answered a lot of questions that you may have about this bag and help you decide whether this bag is the right bag for you, or maybe you're going to take a pass and look for a different bag. I'm Heather Kiley, reminding you to keep your investments where you can see them. In your closet, of course!